let's look back to Friday, and this was a pretty stacked field with a lot of high-ranked players, most of whom had the weekend off. Ricky Fowler, Jason Day, Phil Mickelson, after that strong play out in Palm Springs, all missed the cut. What were your takeaway from some of the big names swinging and missing early at Torrey Pines?
Yeah, and you could even throw in Justin Rose with that mix to miss the cut. But I think each case could probably be examined differently here. I mean, Jason Day, you're not really all that concerned because he had the flu for a week. It was questionable whether he was even going to tee it up, and I actually thought he did well just to miss the cut by a couple of shots. Ricky Fowler, he traveled 17 hours across 12 time zones, and he probably wouldn't have played if it wasn't for a sponsorship deal with the Farmers, so that's not really a concern. Phil was the head-scratching one for me, though, because he played so well on the South Course on Thursday, and then he just completely melted down on the easier North Course, shooting 76 and bogeying the last 3 holes to miss the cut. And Rex, I'm curious what you think about this. I'm not sure if this was Phil just kind of mailing it in because of his love affair with the Torrey Pines South and North is certainly strained over the past couple of years after the redo and then the failed redesign bid, or whether this was more a product of his inconsistency with the swing that is still a work in progress with Andrew Getson.
Probably a little bit of both, to be honest with you, Lav. I mean, clearly there is a knot that he's not happy that he didn't get the North Course redesign bid. He talked about it last week. He pointed out that he didn't understand the politics that went into it. I'm not going to pretend to understand the politics that went into it. But, again, I'm with you. I think the part that confuses me a little bit is, look, he's split with Butch Harmon. He's going in a different direction with his swing now. He feels like he's getting back to more that feel type of swing that he had earlier in his career. And for a week at the Career Builder, it seemed to work out pretty well, halfway decent. I mean, you can look at it and say that was a decent start for him. This was surprising to me because you would have thought he would have shown up and had a little bit more confidence in what he was doing, and that didn't look good at all the way he finished.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to go as far as to say that he sabotaged his second round there on the North Course because he's picking up his toys from the sandbox. He's not happy, but I also think that he's not missing the cut on purpose. But that being said, I think the issue for me with Phil is consistency. I went back. Since the start of the 13-14 season, he has 5 top 10 finishes, which is not a lot, but he has 5, including 2 weeks ago at the Career Builder. In the next start after those top 10 finishes, he has not finished better than a tie for 64th.
That's the consistency, and I think we all wrote about it just a couple weeks ago about what will Phil do next. That's always the big question, going back to that ad campaign, and you just don't know. I mean, you'd like to think that he could turn it around because I know how much the Ryder Cup means to him this year. I mean, he glared at Davis Love at the President's Cup and said, "Don't forget me next year when it comes time, either for a pick or to play in the Ryder Cup." He's driven by that, but I don't know that he has the game there. I don't know that he has the swing to be out and compete week in and week out, because you're going to run into a guy like Brandt Snedeker, like Ricky Fowler, like Jordan Spieth, like Rory McIlroy, week in and week out, that are playing their best golf. And Phil can't compete if he has his B game now, not against those guys.
Lav, let's shift
I think
now.
it's more a product of motivation and when Phil is engaged. You saw it at the Masters, you saw it at the PGA, when he really has incentive to get the job done. He still has plenty of game to win a major championship. I thought at the Career Builder he was certainly motivated and engaged to try and start his 2016 off on a good note. I can kind of chalk up the performance at Torrey Pines just the fact that there is a strained relationship now. In the past 15 years, he hasn't won. He's really only seriously contended once over that span. Yes, it's his hometown event, but I'm just not sure he's as motivated to really put on a great performance in his hometown event as maybe he was earlier in his career.
I also think there's something to be said that it seems like the entire West Coast swing is a hometown event for Phil. You play in Arizona, you play in California, and eventually he's going to get tripped up here.
Well, and I think the question was, will Phil win this year? And I actually said yes, but he has to do it quick. Because, the majority of his wins on the PGA Tour have come on the West Coast, and it's getting late early, so to speak, for Phil Mickelson.
It's only February. It's Groundhog Day, Rex.
But we're sneaking up on the end of the West Coast, and again, he doesn't often play his best golf after he leaves the West Coast.